great pumpkin. I'm looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night.
Hello pumpkanists, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to perform a pumpkinist ritual, which is basically just what we would participate in if we had any sort of physical church at all. It is also just ritual you can do at home. This specifically would be a large service ritual in which you honor all three of the accomplices and the Great Pumpkin himself, and you read from holy texts. Although the holy texts are available online, I've been revising them. Anywho, these rituals are important to us, or this ritual that I'm about to teach you, because this is how we would normally celebrate holidays or give sacrifice to the Great Pumpkin and his holy accomplices. And they're also just a good thing to know in case you ever find yourself in a position in which you need to perform one of these rituals. And they are a lot like the sacrifices, they're just less specific to each accomplice. Alright pumpkinists, so here are some things you will need for the ritual. First of all, again, the holy texts are not available to all. So normally you'd have the holy text to represent the Great Pumpkin, but we do have this wee pumpkin instead. That will be our representation today because I'm guessing most of you have a form of a pumpkin. Moving on to representations for the accomplices. This is what I choose to represent Vinia with. It's a staff. Vinia's holy item is a staff. This one has a corn design on it. I got it at a gas station because I thought it was very cool. This is what I use as a staff. However, staffs in all seriousness are just big sticks. Literally any form of big stick that is important to you for some reason works perfectly well for the staff of Vinia as a representation of her. Spider, as you know, is the element of water, and one of his most important items is the potion of happiness. You can also find something like a bat to put on it. So I have these little bat clips that I will also use to represent Spider. He actually has 3 holy items. I just choose to use the potion as an example because I feel it fits best with his element. And basically this is just a bowl I got from Hobby Lobby last year. That was very overpriced. It just has pumpkins on it, but we will fill it with Kool-Aid. And lastly we have Festiva. Festiva is basically anything you can put a fire in. So here are 2 examples. One is this cauldron I got from an unidentified store. It is full of sand. It's very small. But the sand is just so I can burn things on it safely. This is my pumpkin lantern my dad found in storage. There's a great big thing of wax in it so you can burn stuff. It's just basically a jack-o'-lantern made of metal. Anything you can burn things in. For today, I will be using a actual fire pit that my family has outside to conduct this ritual. But first, there's a few things we should also get in preparation. First of all, we have ritual attire. I do have a very long black robe thing, and it's cool as hell that I would normally wear for these sorts of things. But it's like 90 degrees out, so that's a no for me. But we do have this, which I usually wear over said black robe. It's just an orange poncho. The other thing you're going to want to get is a big enough space. It's better to do with people, which is why you have the potion of happiness. It's better to do, especially with that element, it's better to do it when there isn't a global pandemic happening, but you also would like I said, we're going to be putting Kool-Aid in Spider's bowl. So if you would like to get some sort of drink you can make, water is fine. Literally anything that tastes good and is a liquid and isn't, literally anything, now that I think about it. I'm not going to rule out certain liquids because I don't like them. Let's begin. Here we are again in my kitchen, with the representation for Spider. Like I said earlier, I will be using Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is not a necessity, I just like Kool-Aid too much. For Spider's part, you will want some form of cup. These are just pretty, so I use them. And also like a ladle, so that it's easier to serve the Kool-Aid when the time doth come. Alright, now it's time to actually perform the ritual. This is where I did it, behind my house. We're gonna start with making the fire just because that's probably not something you want to do when you're in the middle of it. I had a bunch of cardboard instead of newspaper, but like literally anything's fine. Just make a fire, dudes. Next, you would don your ritual clothes. The reason we have ritual clothes is because it's a specific piece of clothing, such as like, it can be anything, honestly, from a poncho to a dress to a ring, literally anything that just signifies that you are starting the ritual and that you would only wear during the ritual. Next, we would start reading from the holy texts. If you don't have the holy text, then this is totally not a problem. You can just ignore this step. Oftentimes, the part of the holy text you read would be relevant to the time of year or anything relevant to what's going on currently. This is when I take a quick second to revel in the beauty and majesty of our dear God, the Great Pumpkin. Now we get into the actual ritual process in which you run the Staff of Vinia through both the fire and the offering to Spider, regardless of what it is, to represent the unity of the three accomplices working together. And then you would drink from the bowl of Spider, because it has been touched by the Staff of Vinia, which has passed through the flame of Festiva, and it is also representing the unity of the three and subsequently the Great Pumpkin. Next, you pour the representation of Spider over Vinia's representation as well as Festiva's as an offering to all three of them. Next, you can do anything else. You could perform one of the sacrifices from the sacrifice video. I'm reading tarot cards, you can read runes. Anything you want to that you need to ask guidance for the Great Pumpkin can be done now. You can of course not leave fire burning, so I just like to pour it out with whatever remains of Spider's juice at the end of the ritual. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry it took so long for this video to get posted. Life just got really slow for a while. Some more updates, like I said earlier, the holy texts are being rewritten. I'm not sure when I can get those up on the website, but I'm working on that currently. Another thing we're working on is I have things I can use to make t-shirts. I'm sort of trying to perfect a method that works best. And spooky season is on its way, so expect more videos than usual, as usually happens when October comes around. Also, if you saw the last video, you would know there's a new face on this channel. That's Robert. He will be making more videos, hopefully, so be ready for that. Anyway, pumpkinists, have a lovely day, and all hail the Great Pumpkin.
Without further ado, here are 6 disturbing videos that can be found on the deep web.